Greetings gamers, welcome to part number 34 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 10, Radiant Dawn, and in today's episode I have much to do with defeating Lombroso and his wonderful gaggle of enemies that I have, Begnion forces. I did want to state that down here, if you happen to have the Japanese version of this game, is a Master Crown. I kind of really don't like the fact that the Master Crown on this chapter is Japanese only exclusive, because I would really like to have another Master Crown. There is a coin right here, there is an Olivigrass right here, and then there is another coin right here. They're not all that useful in comparison to my getting the energy drop. So I definitely want to do that. The problem is, and this still is a problem, is that I have to mind where I put my forces. I'm kind of wanting to canto back, and let's see, where can I go? Right here. Yeah, so I'm wanting to canto back with my units right now so that I can dance for them and allow them to attack again. This is the only way I'm going to get this done. Which also means that I kind of also want Reyson to be down here as well. I was thinking about it. There is no way that I'm going to be able to steal the energy drop with Heather if she isn't down here allowed to steal in the same turn that she's dropped off by whoever rescues her. So I really need to keep that in mind. First and foremost, what that means is I'm going to have to KO you. Nice shot on that good old steel lance. One reason why having Reyson down here with this group is also just a better idea overall is because, very nice, because this group needs to be able to heal themselves. They do not have a healer down here. Mist is the only healer on my team at this current time, but Reyson is kind of a healer too. He can heal 26 magic per turn to all adjacent units. Now, it's not likely that my units are going to be adjacent to him, but that is something that he can do. But allowing them to move again if they need to heal up is also a very good way to make sure that they get the healing that they need, because they all have healing items as well. I'm going to move Reyson here. This is going to seem a bit dangerous, but I think it should work out pretty darn fine. Move you down here. Once I steal Lombroso's energy drop, I am going to be flying my units back up here, or at least like around this position and keeping him here. Maybe flying Reyson back up so he's not in any danger, because the reality is, and this is very important to keep note of, that Reyson can die, and pretty darn easily as well. Not something that I want at all. Now, with good old Heather and her wonderfulness, having Shade, which is something that I did want to make sure that she obtained, she should be like the least targeted unit in this party. In fact, I'm almost certain that Reyson is like #1 priority, because he cannot attack back. Now, this force back here does not have Reyson's ability or utility now that I'm doing this. But it doesn't matter so much, because what's going to happen is if I get overwhelmed, I can just put Mist on this space. She can still attack and still provide herself useful. And I can put Ike here. Now, the reason why I would still be leaving Shinon right here is because he would only be able to be attacked one range by one unit. And he is the bulkiest member of my party, both defensively and resistively, except for Har. Har is obviously more defensive. Reyson is actually kind of no slouch transformed either. 16 defense isn't exactly incredible, but it is pretty good. Titania is a close. I mean, she's actually better than Shinon comparatively, but She has less HP, so I guess you could consider her less bulky. They have the same defense, but she has slightly more resistance. It doesn't really matter. I need experience points on all of my units, so I'm not going to be ending this on turn whenever I can defeat Lombroso. That's just not happening.
Fools, can't you see that you're outnumbered? You have sided with the Lagoos and betrayed the Empire. The Senate will be happy to see the likes of you dead and buried.
Maybe the Senate would be happy to see the likes of us dead and buried, but I will tell you, Lombroso, your plan is going to fail. Yeah, so Ike, Shinon, Mist, they all need experience points. Granted, these units do as well, but not so much. Har and Titania are already 3rd tier. They don't really need to grow anymore for this time. 3rd tier is basically the benchmark you want to reach in Part 3. If you can reach 3rd tier with your units in Part 3, you're golden. Now, you still have Part 4 to go on. And Part 4 will gladly make sure you get more than enough experience points. But the problem is that being stronger with my units during these kinds of parts is good and just a good idea all around. Because the fact of the matter is... let's put you here, actually. I'm going to hand axe you. What that will mean is that for my particular team, because my team will have less units than the probably, I would say, typical team of this particular game would have, it's just all around better. Very nice miss to have them leveled up to tier 3 as soon as possible, because what that means is that my 3rd tier units get the full access of being able to be 3rd tier in Part 3, and then help me to defeat the bigger, more powerful forces than a tier 2 team would be able to handle. I want to stay out of the range of these guys. None of them have 2 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can put Reyson here. So this is going to be very simple. All I have to do is I could use something like Shadow. Oh my gosh, Titania. What an incredible level up. And then I can... Let's see. He has a ranged weapon. I wonder if he would attack... See, I do still have to worry about the Meteor user. He's likely going to attack Reyson, but then again, he's not going to do any damage. So he might actually attack Heather instead. Yeah, I'm thinking he might actually attack Heather, so I can't even steal from him this turn. That's okay. I can just make that next turn. And it's super easy for somebody like Reyson to get out of trouble because he has such high movement. It's incredible. Yeah, I wouldn't have even been able to do it anyway because of the distance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, Heather is directly out of reach. But next turn she will be able to steal. The reason why I'm not doing this now is because she's going to get attacked by all 3 of these guys. Plus, potentially, the Meteor. So, I'm just going to end my turn. Very typical. Another thing I could do, too, is have Mist go 1 space to the left so that she could still attack, only get attacked by 1 unit like she is now, but also be able to heal both Ike and Shinon. If it comes down to her need of healing them, then yes, I will do such. Not a bad level up. She does need defense, always does need defense. Ike should be wielding the Etard. I wonder if he can give Mist a KO to the swordsman to the right. I'm going to be finding that out very soon here. Now, Titania is her own little self-healer here because she has soul. The fact of the matter is that I love, personally, the thing that saves sages. I'm going to get to this in a moment. But soul is so fantastically powerful on paladins. It is the thing that saves them. Flare, which basically does a similar thing. It doesn't crit. What it does is it reduces resistance to 0. But it also heals. That saves sages in this game because magic is so terrible. But the problem is you have to be a 3rd tier. So it's not something that comes into effect until we're talking pretty well mid to late game. Now, as you saw with Reyson there, whenever he is attacked, he suffers a boatload, and I mean a boatload of his gauge being removed. Now, he does have an Olivigrass. I'm actually fully planning on getting this one here, too. Once I steal from Lombroso his energy drop, I'm actually going to be... I should be able to attack here. I don't necessarily want to use the shadow, but it's whatever. And he had a coin, so that's nice. Oh, I can't even... That's not great. I'll move you here. Har doesn't really need to be healed right yet. There's one Meteor Tome user. So what I could do is Har has 9 movement, so he's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'll put Reyson right there. And then I'm just going to Vigor for both of these two. I'm going to get Heather out of the way immediately. This will allow me to take care of the Meteor Sage, as well as put Har right next to Reyson. This will allow Har to get healed up next turn. Heather needs to get the heck out of here as soon as absolute possible. I think I'm going to go this way, though. Titania is going to be guarding her, just so she doesn't die immediately, because she does have valuable items on. Even if I don't particularly love her as a unit, I don't want to lose those items. Don't really want to use that. How about, yeah, Wind Edge. He has no chance of critting here, and because Ike doesn't have Adept, there is no chance of him messing this up for Mist. I actually think Mist has her max HP. The way to check that in this game is to go to the unit stats. So yes, she has her max HP. Ike maxes at 50. And then you can see other maxes here. These maxes are easy to see, though. You can actually see those in stats, but you can't see whether or not somebody has max HP in the stat screen. I always thought that was kind of weird, but I'm also... It really doesn't matter, grand scheme of things, right? Yeah, so Shinnon having Disarm is really just for fun. It's nothing else. He doesn't have Disarm because it's necessary for a strategy or whatever. It's just a cute little thing. Because I don't particularly think Disarm is any good. Though, it can be good if you are using a strategy like I alerted to. The fact that you can steal items that you disarm, as long as they are not locked in equipment. I have coins to spare, so I'm not really going to be looking to get the other coins, especially because those are kind of out of the way. I think the one to the right would be fine to get, because I don't think there's any reinforcements there for a little bit. And I spoke too soon. I mean, I'd still think it would be kind of easy to get them. So, yes, you can reach. That's nice. Olivigrass. Reyson is not going to be able to... Now, I could just let him untransform, but I do have the Olivia Grass for a reason. I halfway want to keep Titania and Har close by for their respective ability to deal with the boss. I think what I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to take out this general with Har, which is just a good idea all around, to deal with as many of these guys as possible as soon as possible. I have plenty of units up there by Ike and company to... Oh, man. Fantastic level. He needs speed, but I can't really complain about those levels. Yep, I believe his max strength, skill, and speed are 38. But yeah, I have plenty enough enemy units up here to KO for my particular units. Etard, wow, 15 times 2. As long as he doesn't crit, this should be a beautiful, wonderful KO for Mist. And of course, I'm always looking to level her up, because once she promotes to her 3rd tier class, Mist changes. She becomes a completely different and much better unit all around. Yeah, I think, yeah, there is a healer over here, so that does mean, unfortunately, that my units are going to, if they're doing too much damage like Shinon is over there, those enemies are just going to go to the healer. I don't really want that to happen, so I think I'm going to have to back off on the whole doing that thing. So use an Olivia Grass, he'll be back at 19. This will give him a few more turns of being transformed, which is what I want, because a transformed Reyson is far and away a better Reyson. It's actually one of the reasons why most people go with Raphael, because when he's untransformed, he gets that effect of being able to vigor, or dance, chant, I should say, for as many units are adjacent to him as possible, so up to 4. I gave Mist Adept, so that's turning out to be a good idea. Ike, go ahead and KO as many of these guys as you want, because the fact of the matter is he needs experience points too. I did give him Blossom, so he's more likely to get more levels. So, it doesn't give a percentage boost in this game. I thought it did. That's what it does in Path of Radiance. What it does in this game is... I'm almost certain it does this in both games, actually, because of the random mode. In fixed mode, it just gives a percentage buff. But in random mode in Path of Radiance and in Radiant Dawn, what it does is it re-rolls for stats. So, it basically gives Ike a second chance at his stats. Depending on how high his growth rates are, a higher chance to get that stat on a reroll. Very confusing stuff, and I wish the game did more of an, or had more of like an active telling of this, because the fact of the matter is that yes, Thracia and Genealogy, games as old as that, and even the GBA games don't tell you everything, but those games are old. They are old. We're talking about SNES and GBA era. This is Wii. This is Nintendo Wii. It would be perfectly fine and acceptable, reasonable even, to make sure that all of the information on all... not that great of a level up. All of the information on all... I can't really complain. He's got, what, 3 max stats? All the information on all the skills and stuff like that is fully understood. Fully. It's not a hard ask. This is not something that is difficult or grueling. And it's taking out another unit. And that's a level up for her. What is she? Level 14? So if you want to early promote Mist, the only way possible is with her early promotion item, which is totally different from a Master Crown. She's the only character in this game that uses the Holy Crown, or the Holy Crown, I think it is. Everybody else has to use a Master Crown in order to get 3rd tier, which is really weird. Very weird, in my humble opinion. Alright, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to move here. Now, both of these guys are bow units. Oh, Mist can act, or Titania can actually KO you. Now, she did anyway because she procs Soul. But, either way. And then what I'm going to do is Gulger for both of you. And of course, I am near the end of this chapter. I am going to get the boss KO. Probably on Titania. She needs it a bit more. She's a bit further away from her necessary level. Or not necessary level, but she's a bit further away in levels. She's only level 2, whereas Har is level 4. As you can see, 3rd tier units, if you're smart, can really do a lot of work. Hand axe. I actually don't think, yeah, neither Titania or Har can double here, so I'm probably going to have to use both of them to attack. Either that, or I could use Reyson to allow for Titania to attack twice, because there is always the potential that... Okay, where can you reach? There. There is always the potential that Har proc stun, and then I just lose out on being able to get the KO with Titania. It doesn't really matter particularly, but boss KOs are still worth more than regular, so it's a good idea to give him to the units you need them on. Yeah, somebody actually hitting and damaging Mist is not great. So, I have an idea to deal with this. Yeah, Shade is working there. Not very many more turns. I have an idea to deal with Mist needing healing. And that is that I'm going to go here, mend up Shinon. And then wait. Wait with the rest of them. These two have absolutely no chance of wanting to spot Heather, so that's nice. And get these two ready. I'm probably not going to use another Olivigrass because it just doesn't seem all that relevant right now. Reyson getting a level up this chapter has been nice. Wish he would have got more stats. I believe his resistance caps at 48. It's either 48 or 46. I know that his luck caps at 50 because the absolute maximum stat in this game is 50. And some characters do get 50 in some places, but it's very, very, very rare. For good reason. Imagine having 50 speed on like a Swordsmaster. You're just not... You're doubling everything. You're never being doubled. Which some people think that's cute and all, and some later games in the Fire Emblem franchise did stuff like that. It's not something I personally like. Reyson here, the moment that I can finish this chapter, I fully intend on giving him bonus experience points to level 30. That'll increase his capacity, I believe, to 70 or 60, something like that, and he'll be I will be able to give him Nullify, which means he will no longer be threatened by crossbows, which is going to be great because crossbows are the big evil that he has to deal with, and it's not something you want to deal with. Yep, so she'll get some experience points here. Yeah, most staves in this game have high crit percentages, and I think the reason why that is to make up for the fact that they have low damage potential. Doesn't particularly matter either way, because what's going to happen is that Mist is going to heal up this turn, which is what I wanted her to do. Basically full heal. And then she's going to be able to KO the wonderful knight to the right diagonal of her. Only 3 HP left. Perfect. I could heal up Ike. I don't actually see a need for that. This is going to be goodbye to one of her florets. Yes, I know that there's good and legitimate reason not to buy the second floret, but I personally see it as an okay expenditure because Mist is a unit I love to use. These two... Okay, so they can't be reached by everybody. What I'm going to have to do is just move them a little bit forward. And then I can, obviously, Vigor, allowing them to both move again, which doesn't matter because I'm not moving them. But it's just for the experience points. Move Reyson back. And then that is looking to be my turn. I want as many KOs on Mist as possible. So I'm not really attacking with Ike. I do want him to get his next level up this chapter, though, which he's very close to. There would actually be a very funny way for me to box that knight in. I think I might end up doing it too, because the interesting idea about that is that it would allow me to make sure that Mist, oh, very nice, gets that KO and he doesn't just run away for healing. Because he's likely going to do just that. He only has 10 HP left. Nice. If Titania needed healing, that would have been perfect. So most times I play this chapter, I don't bother stealing the energy drop from Lombroso. But that's because most of the times by this point I have fully 100% benched Heather. Because most things for the rest of this part are not in need of being stolen. That's pretty good. He needs a couple more speed. 2 to be exact. If he doesn't have that 2 speed, there's a particular thing I want to do with him I'm not going to be able to do. Alright, so my plan will still work here. Well, actually, kind of not really. I mean, I guess it could still work. I'm going to attack you with Mist. This guy is going to run around, but he's not going to be able to get far. Shinon can stay here. Ike can go ahead and... Do I have a vulnerary? Yes, I do. If you only need 20 HP healing, why waste a concoction? I mean, if it's all you have, that's one thing, but... Alright, so I'm not spending any more Olivigrass on Reyson, because, I mean, this is turn 9. So I will have one more player phase turn. Perfect. And then Titania, 18 times 2. Nice. You can actually KO this Bonite. And of course, very obviously, I'm taking out the Bonites because they are an immediate threat to Reyson. Oh, one of them can reach. That's not great. 18 speed, 12 speed. He is doubling. How much damage is he doing? 31 minus 8. So he's doing 23 times 2. He's not KOing, but that's a really bad misstep, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I'm not surprised he decided to run away. I'm actually not going to be able to get the KO with Mist, and the reason being is because Mist now needs to be healed. Very nice. Perfect, in fact. What is that, level 15? Yes, it is. Mist, I know you can do better. You need strength. You desperately need strength. I mean, she's not very far away from her max, granted, but I still would like her to actually have that strength. Now, because she just got a level, it's not likely that she's going to get another level up this turn, so I think it's perfectly reasonable and legitimate for me to heal her. Or heal with her. So if Reyson can survive combat, that's actually a really great way to get his gauge up. He just got 14 in his meter. 10 from the battle and 4 from the turn. So this is obviously where I'm going to be calling it quits. Actually, I'm going to be defeating boss, so I could just KO whoever I want with Mist. Nice. I'm going to be KOing pretty much everybody around here that I can. Steel Bow is perfectly fine for Shinon, and then Ike is going to KO the Knight to the south. He's doing exactly 10 damage. Wind edges are not exactly great, but he is also a knight. So I can still reach. Nice. Shadow.
The outcome of a battle depends solely on the number of the troops in the field. Tactics and skill are nothing in the face of sheer numbers. Wait, are you laughing at me? Gah, die, you insolent cur.
Well, Lombroso is gone. See you later, Lombroso.
Impossible, but how? We outnumbered them. General Lombroso has fallen. Retreat, fall back to base camp.
Beautiful amount of experience points for her. She almost got 50 for that level up. And the speed is very much loved. Thank you, Titania. Thank you. They're retreating. That was a close. Hey, hold on a moment. What's going on here? We hurry back and you don't save us anyone to fight? Sorry about that. You're back sooner than I expected. How far out did you scout?
We went to the enemy's headquarters, Castle Gedos. As promised, the Begnion forces were waiting quietly in their castle. Apparently, some of their soldiers disobeyed orders, but we can trust Zelgius to keep the rest in line. I have other news, however. I ran into someone quite unexpected on the outskirts of enemy territory.
Who?
The commander of the Holy Guards.
General Sigrun?
Yeah, she was by herself. She seemed hesitant to get near Castle Gados. It was odd. I figured since she's a friend and loyal to the Apostle, why not try to get some information from her? She wouldn't budge. Tough girl, that one. She wasn't at all surprised to see me. Then she said in such a sad voice, "Please escape at once."
I wonder what she meant by that. It can't be a good sign. This whole mess is getting worse by the minute. Castle Gados,
Begnion. General Zelgius, I have to report to you that this is the end of the episode. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you like my content, please vote and follow or like and subscribe depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.